Just okay. So, hello, great to be here. Uh, so, basically, our project is on a specific device called the solar-powered auto-evaporative car cooler system with smart monitoring, but I specifically call it StayCool. It was supposed to be a it was originally supposed to be a product concept because I'm into business. So this is kind of like a prototype thing, and now it's turned a lot of hardware and stuff. So let's start. So this is the table of contents. I'll mainly go through the research paper that me and my advisors submitted. We'll have an introduction, the solution, live demonstration, challenges, experiment, then a future development, conclusion, and lastly Q&A. So, so the initial problem that I really hated is that every time that I open my car door, since I live in California, it's fairly hot. So every time I open the car door, a blast of hot air goes into my face because it's always sunny, creating the solar energy that shines in a vehicle creates a greenhouse effect inside that vehicle. So that's why the huge blast of air just goes through my face. It's kind of like turns to an oven of sorts, and it's very uncomfortable. Every time you go in, you have a bunch of things in there that is also alarmingly hot, so you cannot touch anything because it will burn your hands, especially electronic devices. And recently, most cars have electronic devices. So, according to scottauto.com, after an hour, the in-car temperature is typically 43 degrees higher than the outdoor temperature. Like I said, it turns to basically an oven. And on warm days, opening the car door will release heat waves, as I stated, and getting into the vehicle is uncomfortable and inconvenient. And heated objects and electronics can burn upon contact, as I stated. Additionally, like other ways to maneuver around this issue, for example, like opening your windows may cause a lot of bugs and unwanted pests into the vehicle itself. And especially during summer where most bugs come out, this will be a very big problem. Second thing is that it's a danger to loved ones, as sometimes people forget. However, when they forget something very important, this may cause fatal issues, as they may forget their child or their pet on their vehicle while they're running an errand, for example. If they're sleeping or just staying in the car for whatever, it can get really heated. And obviously, since the car is now an oven, it can easily cause heat stroke, especially to animals, as animals are very susceptible to heat. And additionally, a child's body temperature rises 3 to 5 times faster than an adult. So heat stroke is more common. And a total of 163 pets died from heat-related incidents in the car, whilst 855 were rescued. And these were only for reported cases. So, yeah, prioritizing loved one safety can reduce inconvenience during errands and tasks. If you have to keep like listening to your child whining in the back about how hot the day is, and you have to leave the car on and make it idle, or that's the term that we use, and then and then turn on the air conditioning, it can cause gas to be used, and as stated, idling is very bad, as it can release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and it's just overall very frustrating because you don't want to hear your child always, no, I don't, I want the air conditioning on while you're waiting for another person. Anyways, for so do the let's introduce our device, which is called StayCool. Basically, it's a portable solar power auto swamp cooler or evaporative cooler, and it's designed to prevent heat buildup in vehicles. It's approximately 15 inches high and 12 inches wide to be suited in a vehicle seat. It is powered by solar panel that will go through a battery and it will power this on, and basically it acts as a safety net for your pet and child while also acting as like how should I say it? When you open the door, there wouldn't be heat blowing into your face. So it's also kind of supporting your comfort as well. Let's move on to the next slide. Yeah. So just an overview of the solution. Here's some features. One is the monitoring app, which shows temperature and humidity and allows the user to activate the device through the app and cool the vehicle ahead of time. Second of all, we have a relay that turns on or off the device based on certain conditions. And so basically, if it detects lack of water, it will immediately shut off. Or if there's certain conditions that makes it dangerous for it to keep going on and it may break something or make something too heated, then it'll turn it off as fast as possible. Additionally, there's a temperature and humidity tracker that would be shown as stated on the monitoring app. A water sensor detects amount of water that's left. And lastly, a particle boron or a microcontroller that connects to the internet or Firebase and then to the app. So this is a quick overview of the parts. We have we need holes for hot air to get in. We have a buck converter. We have a water pump, a fan to blow the air back out, a solar panel, and polyester cooling pads and tubes to spread the water into the cooling pad. And so when hot air goes in, the water will absorb the heat. Then it will blow it right out, cooler air. So these are the purpose, as stated before, is to create a comfortable and safe environment, allow access to cooling while the vehicle's AC is off. You don't want the AC to always be on, obviously, in a car. It's basically just making it idle. Carbon dioxide goes to the air, it reduces gas, it's bad. And here's some ideal situation and examples during errands with another individual, specifically a child. And in hot, it's supposed to be in hot and dry areas, as evaporative cooler is not as efficient in humid areas. However, in hot and dry areas, it can achieve maximum efficiency and usage. And another example is if you're waking up and you're about to go into a car in a sunny, hot morning to work, this will prevent the uncomfortable blast of hot air. So, some dynamics and interaction within the device that we thought of is, first of all, there is conviction, I think that's how you say it, in vehicles. Basically, the reason why the fan is facing up and not a specific direction is because it's not supposed to directly blow it onto someone, and air conditioning usually goes to either a certain direction to give comfort to the person itself. However, this is supposed to cool down the entire interior of the vehicle, so it's not supposed to have a specific direction. and because the user will like to use the user will likely not use this device when they're present in the vehicle, as there's air conditioning for it. The That's why the fan aims upward. So this is how. So this is the convection cycle. Hot air through the moist polyester cooling pads. Then fan blows the cooler and moist airs upward. Then the cooler air moves down because cold air moves down while hot air moves up. Then the solar energy will, obviously it's still shining in the vehicle, so it will likely evaporate the moisture in the air and evaporate it, and then it goes back into this device. So it's a constant cycle that will make the interior of a vehicle cooler. Another is the solar panel and weather. Obviously when solar panel works when it's very sunny, you're supposed to, so here's the solar panel we're gonna use. Basically, you put it onto the car's windshield while you're not there, and it's supposed to charge this. It's supposed to charge this device and activate all the components of it: the fan, the pump, all the other stuff. And that basically also means if the weather is bad, then like there's a cloudy weather, then this wouldn't work as efficiently. However, the vehicle, the solar panel takes advantage of the solar energy in the car, and obviously if the place is cloudy or at night, it wouldn't receive any energy, but obviously it wouldn't be hot. If it's night, then you wouldn't experience a heat wave blow into your face after opening the door, because it's not creating a greenhouse effect. Lastly, and most importantly, is the humidity. Obviously, through this cycle, when going through the cycle, obviously there will be more and more moisture inside the vehicle, and that can create mold and rust to build inside the vehicle. However, the air conditioning that is built into most vehicles nowadays absorbs the humidity, as it acts as an actual air conditioner where it removes moisture, balancing both humidity and cooling. So when you're not in the car, this will act as an air conditioner to the vehicle. When you're in the car, you're supposed to turn this off, and then the air conditioner is supposed to replace for your personal comfort. So here's an overview of the solution. This is the photo of the device. Oh, then this is how the device operates. So solar panel goes to the battery, then the microcontroller to the pump, fan, humidity sensor, and water level sensor. And then the mobile app, which will go to the Firebase, which will connect to the, I think it's supposed to be the microcontroller, as that's supposed to convert to connect to the internet. So here's a quick demonstration of the device. So if I, let's just say this thing represents the solar panel, and that's supposed to connect to here, which it doesn't turn on automatically. However, we had to put something else in there, another charger in here, and this will likely be the charger inside the vehicle. Inside the vehicle, recently most vehicles have a charging area, so this would be very useful. And it will flash a bit, and it will turn it on, and it will have fan noises. So just to show it works, here's a paper towel, and show that it's air is entering through here. It sticks on here as air goes into the device. That's just a quick demonstration. Let's go to the next one. So the monitoring app. it connects to the evaporative cooler and see its status, the humidity, the temperature, all that. The StayCool monitor your app, then it gives the user the ability to activate the device and cool the vehicle ahead of time. We haven't implemented it yet, but we're doing that currently. So here's just a brief demonstration of the device. So the device is currently not on yet. The StayCool isn't on. However, when I refresh it and I connect it to it, it starts fluctuating, and slowly it's trying to go down as the moisture is building in the air. So let's get back to the device itself. So yeah, this is the app open screen menu, the status of the device if it's offline, and the status of the device when it's online. And here are some challenges that we faced along the way. One of them is powering through shades, which StayCool is solar panels, so cloudy days, just simply cloudy and hot days, may result in insufficient power to operate the fan emitting system. However, we can possibly integrate a rechargeable battery in there and create other stuff to make this to go around this issue. We can activate the interior device when the temperature threshold is exceeded and using low power components. Next is managing water limits. As an evaporative cooler, as you can see, there is water in here. So the user has to constantly put water in for it to function. So, and if it doesn't have enough water, it will not work. And if it's needed and this doesn't have water, then it won't work. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Okay. So we can use this by making water level sensors notify the user through the mobile app. So if water is getting low, it can tell the user through the app to put more water in. Another is the cooling accuracy. Poor sensors calibrate can result in false triggers, which will be basically the overuse of power or water or fail to activate when needed. And so to go around that, we will probably use a periodic sensor self-check or allow users to manually self-calibrate sensors via the app interface. If unusual behavior is detected, if the pump is malfunctioning, then it will tell the user. If it does anything, if the humidity temperature tracker doesn't work, then it will also notify the user. So this is our first experiment, basically testing the device usage. So the experiment process is that we put it inside the parked vehicle and record its behavior over a 1 hour period under afternoon sunlight. And then we set the threshold to 35 Celsius. And as you can see, it turns on at 35.8 Celsius. And however, it doesn't activate in 34.8 Celsius. And one notable outcome of how efficient this cooler is that within 30 minutes of activation, the temperature drops 3.6 Celsius. It obviously takes some time as it's an evaporative cooler, it doesn't work as efficiently as an actual air conditioner. And so it will take slower to cool down the vehicle itself. But after 40 minutes, it has the highest temperature as the car is still in oven, and after a while, it goes to 34.5 Celsius. And then after it goes down from 35 Celsius, then it will turn off. So for experiment 2, we use the signal strength, and basically we use a stopwatch to record the delay between data submissions and appearance on mobile app interference. Basically how fast the data can go to the app itself, how fast it can release the temperature and humidity and notify the user. So we tested in a 6 cycle, 1 hour total, and we recorded both the push delay, the microcontroller to the Firebase, and the app pulling delay, Firebase to the display. And as you can see, a weak signal strength will cause a lower update delay. These are in seconds, by the way, just to clarify. So it'll do 1.3 seconds in a strong signal area, 6.5 in a weak area. So it is still fairly fast. It still notifies fairly fast in weak signal areas. So what we can learn from both of the experiments is, first of all, that the StayCool device will have a delay for efficiently preventing heat buildup. So for future development, we may allow the user to set when it activates to pre-adjust to their comfort. Adjusting a lower temperature for activation will make it activate sooner and prevent heat buildup sooner, basically. And either that, or we plug more holes in the tube that is putting water into the wicking fabric, which will make the fabric have more moisture and absorb more heat overall. Another, from experiment 2, we can learn that the faster responsiveness in the future, such as emergency, we may consider a fallback system like the SMS alert or the BLE proximity syncing. And by adding this feature, it will basically emphasize its purpose as a safety net. So in conclusion, the StayCool provide a practical and scalable solution in mitigating dangerous vehicle buildup using solar energy from sunlight, and take advantage of how bright the sun is to powering this device. It will create a constant convection cycle that will put moisture and cooler air into the vehicle itself. It's very dynamic, as stated before. When you're using this when you're not in the vehicle, and then when you're in the vehicle, you're supposed to use the car air conditioning. And this device itself can have strong potential to enhance vehicle safety and comfort overall in diverse climates and usage scenarios. And yeah, thank you for your time. Any Q&A? Yeah, thank you for your time. And any questions?